Greetings all. Greetings, greetings, greetings. This video is somewhat out of character, but in a way, it's still in character. It might appear to be out of character in a way, but it is in character of what I always talk about on my videos. This is a video about Barbados giving every citizen $300.
18 years old, and every person with legal status who has contributed to the National Insurance Scheme in the last year will qualify for the Solidarity Allowance. The National Insurance Scheme, sir, will administer the payment of these allowances. Sir, it will be easy for us to identify the following categories of persons. All persons who made contributions to the NIS in the last 12 months, all national insurance contributory pensioners, all non-contributory pensioners, including those accessing the special need grant, all persons receiving invalidity benefit from the national insurance scheme, all welfare clients receiving support, not in any category above. All of these persons, sir, will qualify for the solidarity. In line with the movement in the maximum insurable earnings, sir? No, this is in line, sir, with the movement in the maximum insurable earnings, sir, which allows those persons earning a lot more at the top, sir, to contribute more to NIS. And therefore, we want to make sure, sir, that the persons at the bottom, sir, are not left behind in this process, sir. And therefore, we commit to doing that.
And now we come to this, which is the rest of the photo. Well, when I say the rest of the photo, another piece of the photo. You see, there are three pieces here. There are other pieces too, but these are the three most important in my view. I would like you to go read this article also. This is BarbadosToday.bb, which is an internet site. This gentleman is an economist, professor at UWI, which is University of West Indies. And he has serious questions about That money that you saw, and they're borrowing at 500 million at 8%. It is like the average person in America buying a car loan, which is almost the highest percentage. Credit cards are higher, but something that is secured, 8%, over 8%. Now, I have lots of questions about this. But the problem is that they gave away $300 to each citizen. And the excuse that they told everybody is that, hey, we collected more taxes than we estimated, more business taxes, so we're giving back to Barbadians. In that case, if you want to give back to Barbadians, the roads all over Barbados are in terrible shape. The schools need repairing. I mean, the sewer systems around the areas where are like heavily populated. Barbados have no industries. This year, Barbados is supposed to be known for sugarcane, and we've gone. They produce probably about 2-3% of the amount of sugarcane they used to produce in, say, 1960 when we became independent. So-called independent. Let me correct that. We have the flying fish as our symbol. And we are not catching flying fish. The fishermen are not catching flying fish. You see, the areas where we can rely for water to run off the land and into the ocean and provide the microscopic building block for flying fish and other fish around Barbados. All of it been turned into concrete trees. And it's not just this government, but all the governments before have sold off all the areas. There has one piece of land, a few acres, which they call Graham Hall Swamp, which is like my backyard. Seriously, a few acres left that they call it a national trust now. All the rest has been sold off. The opposition party is left to argue about monuments. We are going to remove our monuments. We're not going to allow it. Arguing about foolishness when there are bigger issues. I was talking to one politician here in Barbados. Barbados doesn't even have, when you're a country, you have to have a policy about how things that you want to do. That no matter who is in power, these are the things that are going to be worked on. The roads is one. Education is one. Economy is one. Building businesses that produce something. Healthcare. Those will also be policies that every government, no matter who is in power, should be at the forefront. No policy. Now I'm asking these people, why is it that $300 didn't go to pay off? I mean, Barbados has got one of the highest debt ratios in the world. Why is it that money is not going to reducing the debt, which will help the people more than that $300. But then I started hearing stories about the borrowed money. I said, why are you borrowing money? And instead of you're borrowing twice as much as you now currently owe. And then there's another issue. The Prime Minister's put forward the idea that if I served in the government for 10 years, after I leave the government, I should be able to take the money that I accumulated in my retirement and go wherever I want to go instead of wait till I'm 60 years old to draw my retirement. And I'm asking myself, how much does this have to do with the average Barbadian? And how much does it have to do with the political party that's in power, that if they get put out of power 5 years from now, that all of them would be taking their retirement funds and leaving the country because they know this country is in bad shape. And these articles I just show you tells you exactly what I was questioning. It answers my question. See, I would have expected things like that in Africa. You know? But I expect Barbadians, and I'm one, so I'm guilty of having big expectations. And one of the things that I've been warned about throughout my life is when you expect, your expectations is what causes your depression and anxiety. So I'm asking myself, what am I doing in Barbados now? So I'm seeing some things that, I mean, really sad. And like I said, people are trying to get their money and get out. That's what this is all about. Putting a debt burden on Barbados, leaving, because that's what all these speeches are about, you know, all over the world. These speeches about what's happening to the world. You know, people are saying it's going to get so hot, life on Earth is going. Climate change is a normal fact throughout the universe. You just heard the Prime Minister mention that the low birth rate, except for Africa and other places in the world like Asia, with a population with black skinned people, everybody's facing the same issue. Population growth, the other people's genes are dying off. We talked about that before. And right now they're trying to get Africans to kill themselves to prevent them from being, you know, almost half the world's population. But they say now there's estimated in 2050. So if they can kill off a few, then by 2100 it'll be half the world population. It will just be delayed. Unless they can figure out how to change the COVID-19 from, well, I better not use that word. Anyway, change it characteristics to affect Africans more. And that will come. AI is gonna provide them with the information. But then that same AI might begin to look at them and say, man, you are dangerous. Y'all shouldn't be running things on the planet. We're gonna have to shut you down. And a lot of people who created AI have begun to talk about that behind closed doors. It may be a secret to you, and they might think that they're keeping it secret, but it's not. Every word that is spoken cannot be taken back. It's like you send an electronic signal somewhere in the world. It's being heard. You are sending out a signal. Every word that you speak, just because you're a mile away and think you're not hearing it, doesn't mean that you don't hear it. A man is like a radio, and we haven't yet found the person who can design the technology to test that theory. And I'm not the one to give it to you, but it is there. It's been done already. I keep repeating this. What you've seen has been done. It's just you now being warned. See, so Smith, you think America is the only one that's going through these things? America has got a $37 trillion shortfall, and that's just the federal government. Nobody's talking about the state and local government. And when I say state and local, I mean state as in the 50, and then the thousands of counties and cities and towns and villages all over America. They all have to run deficits because somebody, the economic hitman, is sparing nobody. If you raise up a little town in nowhere tomorrow, somebody's going to knock on the door of the mayor and say, hey, you got a lot of land around here. You need to borrow some money to build something that you don't need. You need to borrow it from us. And if the mayor said no, well, okay, no problem. But just remember, we can bring somebody in to fill your spot and we still get our money. That's the way it works. And right now, Bo Lee from the IMF, Bo Lai, whatever his name is making that pitch to Barbados. 500 million. Twice what the current loans are. Remember Ghana, what I told you about Ghana? It borrowed 300 million, and then it found out it can't pay back the loan, so it borrowed another 300 million, and I told you 3 years from now there's going to be 600 million. And then there's the tariffs. You can take your travel permit. And she boldly says, go ahead and take my travel permit. But when Mr. IMF walk into the office, it's like, I have to rethink that one. Yeah, those tariffs are going to cause you a lot of hardship. You don't want it to happen on your watch, do you? Instead of tariffs, why don't you take out a loan? Have a good day wherever you are. Great day. Hope you're paying attention, because I made a video in Gambia once that says he's showing you areas around Banjul and Serkund. So when you come to Gambia as a diaspora, you are going to be paying for this to fix this. Yes, you're going to have to repair Africa. And when I say diasporans, I don't mean just the people who are former slaves or children of former slaves. I'm talking about Africans that also the Africans who left Africa to get out of the places they deem no longer livable. They got out and they send a few dollars home, back home to feed people, and that's the price for freedom. Not to worry about, not to wake up in the morning and see the squalor around them. I'm not trying to insult you, my brothers and sisters. I'm just telling you the facts. Because I know them. Long before you, the British took a whole lot of people from the Caribbean, the Windrush generation, to rebuild not only Britain, but France, Germany, wherever black people are in Europe now. But for me, it was Windrush, Britain. In the 70s, when I went to Britain, I couldn't believe that this was a place that ruled the world, because the conditions were worse than Barbados. We're getting back to that now. Have a great day wherever you are. Peace.